Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Directors Club podcast. Today I'm talking about the leadership bottlenecks you don't realize you're creating. I see so many different things with childcare center directors all the time where we create obstacles. I do it myself. We have to reflect frequently to make sure that we don't create these bottlenecks because that part of our stress leading a childcare center are issues we create ourselves. And I'm going to go through 6 ways that you can stop the bottlenecks in your center or just make you really reflect and think. And that might just spark a light bulb for you to say, oh, I bet if I did that, it would stop this and I would gain back that time. The first thing is of the 6 is why everyone comes to the director, right? You have to figure out why people are coming to you and why you're getting interrupted with ridiculous things. I'm not saying the normal things, but I know a director that wants to spend strategic time on her business. And she's made a commitment to herself, which is a goal that we're working towards, where she can get a whole day a week, 1 day a week. She's working from home and she is strategically working on her business. And because she has all these things she wants to do, she's been in business for 5 years. She wants to elevate the center, which is, I think, is amazing. But anytime we work together on Zoom or she comes to office hours in the club, I can see her. She's texting. She'll tell me she's getting text messages from the center. And I say to her, who's running the center right now when you're not there? And she's still in charge. And this person is completely capable. I'm like, why are they texting you when you're not there? And why are they even texting you that question? Some of the questions are like literally questions you would expect to come on an intercom, or when someone just happens to see you, they ask you. They're ridiculous. None of them are life-threatening, center shake up, nothing. Really reflect on why they're coming to you. Look at each situation and just reflect for a minute. Take yourself out of it and really look at that. And when we looked at that for her, I'm like, then maybe you need to make an announcement to the staff at a staff meeting that when you are not there, they're really not to reach out to you. You're not running the center. They need to go to the active director running the center at the time. And is that your assistant director or program director? I don't know who it is, but whoever it is. Just like at my center, like I spend 1 day a week out of the center working on my things. And I don't get the phone calls or the text from the staff. Set boundaries. The second thing is when policies don't exist. How many of you have been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? We get to a point where some of our policies that create issues just aren't documented. It could be something like cleaning. Maybe you haven't updated your cleaning procedures in a long time. You just have the same old cleaning checklist for your bathrooms, for your common areas. Maybe that just isn't documented, updated with what you're expecting now. Take a look at that policy so that you don't have to deal with cleaning it or calling a cleaner to do it or having them redo it or coaching them or running into the classroom and saying, oh, you forgot to do this in the bathroom when you cleaned it yesterday. Other policies that could cause a lot of trouble is, I think of this new school year's coming up and progress reports for the students. What do you expect of them? When they write them, do you see them and they're like, oh, these are perfect? Or you're like, oh my God, I have so much work to do to get these to where I want them to be. Create a policy around it. And that helps. And that's going to go right into number 3, when expectations are not clear. Think about tying that to what we just talked about with observations. How can you create expectations to show the team what you expect of observations, of the progress reports of the students? At a staff meeting, set the expectation. When we write progress reports, we write full name on the children, full date of birth. Don't leave it blank. I'm not going to go looking for it for you, right? Go look for their date of birth, have everything spell checked. If there's any spelling errors on it, I'm sending it back to you. And then this is how we like to write, and give them examples of what you like to write. Set clear expectations on things. If it is like we just talked about, issue 1 is the whole issue with why everyone comes to the director. If you set an expectation at a staff meeting and continuously talk about it, when my door's closed in my office, I'm asking people not to enter or interrupt me. Set the boundary. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I have to get paperwork done to operate the childcare center. And the licensor looks on it and I need to get it. When I'm in the office with the door shut, I need to concentrate on that. Leave it at that. The fourth thing is how documentation creates freedom. When you create these expectations, so let's say you create a updated cleaning checklist. You write out a document on how to do the progress reports at your childcare center, what the expectations are. And so when you take these issues that we're having and we turn it into a document, and again, like we're so lucky in this time and age to have AI to help us, like you brain dump all of your how you want this to roll out and ask it to organize your policies and procedures in a way that you like, and then present that to the team. That really provides you with a great resource that you've just figured out a bottleneck issue. You have updated the policy. You've set the expectations with the team and you've documented this so that if I come work at your childcare center, you can say, oh, you're going to be writing progress reports. Here's our document that we have our policies and procedures around it. And now I'm going to go into step 5 of this leadership bottleneck is you're going to now move from answering these questions to now they're just doing it. Like, I don't need you to tell me what's expected. I know that I have to get the child's name spelled correctly. I have to get the date of birth myself. I have to run spell check through it. And I see how you like to word things. You're not going to get mine and they're a mess because I will have followed that. You would have provided me with something I could follow. And if I don't, that's another podcast episode, as we know. And then the sixth thing is that when you have these bottlenecks and we've just moved through these pieces of like figuring out why it's bottlenecked, what we need to do to fix it, and now we have this result, you're now building a system for your childcare center. And it doesn't need to be, I know that SOPs are important. I have SOPs. I know they are. But sometimes creating robust SOPs or using robust SOPs for yourself, it's overwhelming for some childcare centers, especially the smaller centers, or if it's just you leading it, it's not easy. But these things that bottleneck you, have policy written for them, have a to-do list, a checklist. You can create literally everything in AI. And I'm just like saying this to you. I'm going to pull my calendar out. I have an AI workshop coming up. Oh my God, it's this month. It's in July. I'll put a link in the show notes. It is July 14th. It's tomorrow. If you're listening to this podcast when it's supposed to come out, you'll find out that's when it is. It's the 14th of July at 1 p.m. So I'll put a link in, and I'm sure I'll run another AI workshop. But think about ways you could utilize AI to really support you in building these few systems, all based off of the bottleneck. So let's talk through how we create this bottleneck and how we can get ourselves out of it. First, you have to really realize why everyone's coming to you. And then the second thing is, first I'm going to back up. Be realistic. I'm going to just share a little quick story. I was working with a director in her office, door shut. She was interrupted nonstop. And every time she was interrupted, teacher would come in. And she even had a sign on the door that said, I'm in a private meeting or whatever. We were just trying to just talk without being interrupted. This last girl comes in and she asked a ridiculous question about something it didn't mean, and like it didn't need to be answered in that moment. She said, I'm going to put my foot down. I was dying. She's so nice. I'm going to put my foot down. And so the girl comes in, asks a ridiculous question, and does this really need to be answered right now? And the girl's I just wanted to ask you. And I'm in a really important meeting. Does this really need to be answered right now? And the girl was like, she didn't know what to say. And then the director just answered it. And she see what I'm saying? When the girl left. And I'm like, yeah, you don't hold boundaries. That is a problem. And you can't just always blame everything on everybody else. You need to create boundaries. I'm 1000% all for open office door all the time, except for the few hours that you need to block off. Really reflect and be honest with yourself. Why is everyone coming to you? Two, if the policies haven't been updated or don't exist, that's a huge issue. And this is just going to create more trouble of an inconsistent environment at your childcare center. And it's going to create more problems for you. When you don't set clear expectations or even your vision, that is a huge issue. And these staff meetings are an amazing way to set expectation. You're not sitting there saying, I expect you to do this, but you're really just setting your vision of, I want the children to be observed and have good progress reports. And I want the families to see that we are professional early educators. And to do that, we need to produce a very professional progress report. And how we're going to do this is here's the checklist on how to do it. And then this then takes you now have this resources, 1-page document. Doesn't need to be big. Moving into how you don't need to teach me how to do it if I come work at your center, because you now have created this. Or before the next time, like in Massachusetts, we write progress reports every 6 months for toddlers through pre-K. Everyone else gets them at IEPs. Infants get them more often a year. And so every time I'm going to have progress reports written the month before, I'm handing that document out. You're just like looking at it quick, seeing if I need to change anything, handing it out, setting expectations. Really think about how you can go through this process yourself and reflect on what's causing you to disrupt your day, what's irritating you that you wish you could fix, and look at how you can stop bottlenecking some of these issues in the center to take away from your time. So thank you for listening. I hope you learned something today, and I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a great day, everybody.